you feel anxious, depressed, overwhelmed with life and just lost? If so, I think I may know the potential cause of all of that. And it has something to do with the thing that you always carry around with you. Of course, I'm talking about your phone. And your phone isn't the problem, but what's on there. And to be more specific, what you consume on there is the real problem. Because what you consume is emotionally abusing you, and it fucks up your life. And it's the cause for your problems. It's the cause for your anxiety, for your depression, and for your overwhelmedness in life. So today, let's talk about what's causing all of those problems and how you can fix it. But first, why should you listen to me? My name is Marco. I was a complete phone addict with scrolling on Insta, TikTok shorts, and just binge watching for hour upon hour. With that, my life sucked because I wasn't able to work towards my dreams. I wasn't able to work towards my goals. And because of that, my life sucked. I was unable to work towards my dreams. And because of that, my mental health was shitty. And I hated my life. But luckily for me, with hard work, with trial and error, and with consistent work, with consistent hardship, I was able to stop it. I was able to stop my phone addiction, my scrolling addiction, reduce my screen time, stop playing video games, stop watching porn, and then finally having free time to be productive, to work towards my goals, and doing things that actually help to achieve my dreams. With my new free time, I improved my body and went from skinny to muscular. On top of that, I improved my physical and my mental health tremendously. I fixed my poor sleep and now sleep better than 95% of all people. I traveled around in Europe and in Asia. I rediscovered nature and now find the small things in life enjoyable. On top of that, I climbed the highest mountain in Oman. I read around 70 books in German, French and in English. I ran my first competitive 10K and I'm training for a marathon. I started 2 YouTube channels, this one and one in Spanish, and I never spoke a word of Spanish before I started. So I'm learning a new language. I also learned how to play the piano. And most important, I improved my relationship with my family. And I was able to do all of that thanks to my compendium's 5 pillars of quitting that helped me tremendously to go from a subhuman who is addicted to all of those bad habits and who isn't able to work towards his dreams to now a healthy human who is able to work towards his dreams, who is able to achieve his goals. So if you're interested in also achieving that, then click the first link in the description. So what is the problem? We established already that your problem is on your phone, and it has something to do with what you consume. And what I'm talking about is social media, and to be more specific, short form content. Consuming short form content is emotionally abusing you, and I tell you why. You need to realize something, that whenever you scroll, literally every scroll you do, a different video is playing, right? But with a different video, also a different emotion comes. Because one video makes you feel happy, then one video makes you feel angry, then one video makes you feel jealous, then one video makes you feel envy, then one video makes you feel motivated, and so on. Literally every video that you watch, a different kind of emotion is released. And because of that, you are overstimulated with emotion. Why? Because you consume so much and because you spend so much time on short form content. Because you spend so much time watching so many different videos that you watch 100 different videos, you experience 100 different emotions in a span of an hour. And this isn't normal, this isn't healthy. And because of that, your mind isn't ready for that. Your emotions are overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with those emotions, and your mind and your emotions go in hyperdrive. And you feel anxious, you feel overwhelmed. Why? Because your mind and your body isn't designed to handle so many different emotions in such a short period of time. That's the problem. Your emotions are fucked and abused because you spend so much time on short form content consuming so many different emotions. Now, that's the first problem, that you consume so many different emotions. But now the second problem is what kind of emotion you perceive more. You may think, every emotion is equal. Happiness and negative emotions you perceive equal. But this isn't the case. An example is, when you read news, what's the news about? Most of the time, the news you read is about something negative. It's about war, it's about some people dying, it's some people starving, something terrible happened. Why? Because we are drawn to negative emotion. We are more drawn to negative emotion. The reason for that is simply because back when we were hunter-gatherers, we needed to have this advantage of receiving or noticing negative emotion faster, because it would mean our survival. When we saw a tiger, we need to react faster and more intensive than when we see a flower. Why? Because a tiger could literally kill us, but a flower can't. So we perceive negative emotion harder and more intense because it basically helped us to survive. And now on social media, we perceive those negative emotions still more than the positive emotion. Another example is simply, when you have a great day, when 100 people compliment you, one person could come up to you and insult you and say something negative about you, and your complete day could be ruined. And you only focus on the negative things. Why? Simply because we perceive negative emotion stronger than we perceive positive emotion. If we combine that we consume so many different emotions in such a short period of time, and that we perceive negative emotions strongly, we come to the conclusion that our emotions are fucked and that our emotions are mostly negative. And I think that's one of the main reasons why so many, especially my generation, is anxious and is depressed and feels overwhelmed with life and just feels lost. Why? Because they have so many negative emotions stored. Because they perceive so many different negative emotions that they feel anxious and depressed. That's, I think, is the reason why so many young people are depressed. Because their emotions are fucked. How can you fix that? Basically, you need to just stop it. You need to stop consuming short-form content. How can you actually do this? Is simple. The first step is you need to become aware. And you became aware that you have a problem or that your emotions are fucked because of short-form content. We covered that with this video. The next step is you need to cut it out. You need to stop consuming short-form content and you won't experience that overflow of emotion. The last thing is, now because we cut out such a large chunk of your life, such a large time period of your time, that we created a time vacuum. We created a time void. This time void needs to now be filled with something better. Because if we don't fill it, we will simply fill it again with short-form content. And we need to fill it with something productive. So if you spend 2 hours a day with scrolling, you need to now fill that 2 hours with something productive. Fill it with work, learning, going to the gym, being productive. Filling with just something that's better. It could be reading, it could be doing something that you're passionate about. Just fill it with something that is better than short-form content. By all means, it could be even watching a 2-hour movie, because it's still better than watching 100 videos with so many different emotions. But of course, I will recommend you to do more productive, more healthy things. So, with that, you can stop it by becoming aware, cutting it out, and then filling it with something better. And if you do that, you will stop feeling anxious, you will stop feeling depressed, overwhelmed with life, and so lost. Because now your emotion will finally be healthy again. You'll finally be able to experience life better again. Because your emotions aren't abused, your emotions aren't fucked. So, if you want help to go from a subhuman who isn't able to work towards his dreams, who isn't able to achieve his goals, to now someone who is able to achieve his goals, who is able to work towards his dreams because he has good mental health, because he can be productive and is disciplined, then click the first link in the description. There you come to my compendious 5 pillars of quitting that will help you to go from a subhuman to a healthy human again, who can work towards his dreams, who can work to achieving his goal. If you're interested in achieving that, then click the first link in the description. On that note, have a great day, take care and get after it.